and welcome back to a new video, and I must say I think that is probably one of my best intros ever, and thank you again Scott Buckley for the music. Check his music out, link in the description below. And I'm going to get into today's video, which is going to be discussing and reviewing the DJI Mini 2. Now everything that you saw is pretty much fresh to the camera. There is a small LUT over the film just to test LUTs out. My friend Ian helped me out discovering them, so thank you Ian. And yeah, we are going to be discussing this little drone here. So the drone itself, nice and easy to fold away. You've got your gimbal cover here and you just fold, click in, and the same over their side, and then you can see the size of it. It is barely the size of my hand. I've got a couple of fingers here I could grip here with. It shoots in 4K, it's got a 12 megapixel camera sensor, and I think it's like a 1/4 inch sensor on it, and a 12 megapixel camera on it, and it shoots in 4K, which is more than enough. Everything that you, as I said, I've said this in the video before, but everything that you've seen here is shot on this. And when I do release the Black Ness video that I'm going to be editing soon, with which I shot on the Mavic Pro 2, I will no doubt add a couple of 4K shots of it in here, because this, being a 249 gram drone, is allowed to fly over unintentional people and also over structures and buildings. So that's why I've been able to fly this quite a lot of times around where I live, because I'm above everyone, and yeah, this is a perfect drone for people who want to get into droning, because come December 2022, when the new rules come in, and all your legacy aircraft, which can currently fly in the A2 subcategory of 50 meters of uninvolved people and structures and stuff, you do your A2 ACOF course, but that's going to be irrelevant after that as well. So having these drones being able to fly in the subcategory A1 over buildings and structures and over uninvolved people accidentally is a good way to still get some great drone shots from wherever you live, and not having to go 150 miles out, meters, sorry, 150 meters to go and fly somewhere. But everything I used, I actually managed to get this controller working. I'm going to say working because I had to get the Samsung, the DJI Go Fly app on the Samsung, which isn't on the Google Play Store. It is, however, on the Apple Play Store, because DJI are Apple fanboys. So you have to basically go to the DJI store, go to downloads on your phone or your computer, and I think there's a QR code that you can scan on your phone, and you can download the DJI Go Fly app from there, and not like the link I was continually downloading, which said downloading, and I hit install and it didn't install. So I had, luckily Ian had sold me a smart controller, so I was able to, and once I updated the Mini 2 with my girlfriend's iPhone, I was able to update the firmware in the Mini 2 and use a smart controller. But now I've got the Go Fly app on here, I can use this, and I decided to shoot everything that you saw there for the purpose of this video. And I think it is a really good remote. I mean, you've got your pause, your photo and record button here, you've got your gimbal controls here, fan thing here. This bit here is like the antenna, and then where you can store your phone, and you can take the cable out, put it there, tidy away, nice and neat. Joystick's the same as the smart controller, so you can change them if you need to, different modes, power off and on, and pause and return to home there, and you get change of modes here and some kind of button here. I don't know what that does. You also get like a propeller protector thing here, because unlike the Mavic Pros, and I'm not sure about any other drone, but these are screwed on propellers, which are a bit of annoying. Other things that you should probably know about with the Mini 2, it has downward sensor, so it will sense the floor, but if I was to fly this right at me, it is going to be whack. So you do need to watch out for that, because these are just fan intakes there, or air intakes. So yeah, it doesn't have any avoidance sensors or collision sensors or warning sensors or nothing on the side, so whatever you point at, this is going to hit. And it's 249 grams and it won't kill you, but it will do some damage. And I don't think you'll be, if you're in America, you'd be wanting to pay the insurance when somebody sues you for hitting them with your drone. So just be careful with them, but yeah, you are allowed to fly them safely, but over uninvolved people. And so this is why it's so good for learning to fly. And it's got, I mean, GPS, 400 odd pounds. You get GPS, you get a 4K camera. How can you go wrong? I mean, look at it. I mean, I think it looks great. I mean, I'm not the best cinematographer or drone user yet, but I think I am getting better. There's a few shots in the Mavic Pro 2 I am very pleased with, but that will be coming at a later date. And yeah, I would recommend definitely trying out a DJI Mini 2, DJI Mini 2, if you can get your hands on one. It's not like the cheap drones that you can buy for £25 and the throttle was always stuck down and you have to kind of fine balance it, and if you let go it's just going to fall to the ground. No, this will just, like any DJI drone or any GPS drone or whatever, it'll hover wherever you leave it. And sound wise, it sounds more like a swarm of bees or something, so it's not really too off-putting, and I don't think it's that noticeable. So if you're kind of like me and a bit cautious of people watching you or something like that, I don't know, I get a bit nervous around stuff like that. It's quite good for that aspect of things. It's, you know, you can just be sitting there on a park bench, obviously in line of sight, and flying your drone, and people maybe think you're just playing with your phone or something like that. So I don't know, or Game Boy or Switch or something like that. Definitely would recommend picking up this. I love it. I mean, yeah, cheap. The only thing I do not like pretty much is the two things that I'm a bit wary of is the screw-on propellers, which the screws don't feel the best, so you don't want to over tighten them, but obviously you don't want to under tighten them, and the collision sensors. So I've went and bought more propellers just in case, because the problem is if you can get propeller guards for this, but if you put them on, this is over 250 grams, which technically I would still be allowed to fly this, but I would have to fly in the A2 subcategory, which would put in the same, this would put this small drone in the same category as the Mavic Pro 2, which is about huge compared to this. I mean, you could put this in your like pocket or something like that, you know, like a nice 4DXT hoodie or something like that, you know, it would fit right in the pocket there. But apart from that, I mean, I've had no complaints. I've had it out in some extreme wind. It does sometimes get blown about. It does do its best to hold its course. It hasn't been like flying away. It's just drifted probably a bit, then came back when it's stopped. And sometimes in strong winds you can see it slightly going the opposite way, so you just compensate on the stick, or you can move your camera around with your thumb to rotate the camera around, so you can still get your shot. And probably if you at all think it's going to rain, do not take this out. Like, you should not fly any drone in the rain, but if you think it's not going to rain, you can take your Mavic Pro 2 out, and if you feel a spit, you take it back. This one, if you think it's going to rain, I would not recommend it, because that's your SD card there and a USB. It's all open to elements, and it's just gonna, you're just gonna ruin a very nice drone. Yeah, very impressed. Glad I'm still going to be able to fly drones after December 2022 from kind of my street and be able to capture stuff like that, capture stuff I do. And I will continue using the Mavic Pro 2 legally when that happens as well, and I'll probably end up getting a C-class drone so I can still make use of my ACOF A2 course. I wouldn't quote enough the name of the course, I am rubbish with names. If you do have time, hit that subscribe button, put a comment down below, and hit that like button. And also go and check Go Fly Drones by Ian Stewart on YouTube. He's got 2 videos out called Timeless, and it's Timeless Scotland, and it's absolutely fantastic. And hit the subscribe button on his videos as well. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.